Hey guys, what's up? It's Rygar the Destroyer, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Kmart exclusive Sergeant Jyn Erso from the Star Wars 6-inch Black series. This is a pretty cool figure, but before we take a closer look at her, let's go ahead and take a look at her packaging. So like I said, it's a Kmart exclusive, so it comes in this larger box like this here, but it's in the same style, so it's got a nice big window here on the front to display the figure, and then a grayscale image of Jyn down here in the corner. Then that image is repeated here on the back, and there's a brief description. If you'd like to read that, you can go ahead and just pause the video. So anyway, like I said, reasonably standard packaging, so let's go ahead and get back to the figure itself here. So Jyn stands at about 5 1/4 inches tall. So she is a smaller figure, but I think that's appropriate. It seems to fit in scale with all of the other Black Series figures. And Jyn comes with an absolute ton of accessories. Let me go ahead and run through those real quick. The first, and probably the reason most people were interested in buying this, is the rock stand here. So as you can see, it's got 2 peg holes here for her feet, and then she can stand on it. It looks really cool on your shelf because not many figures, I think only 2 other ones have ever been released, with a display base. And they did do a really nice job on it. It's well sculpted, and there's some shading and stuff in there to make it not look like a flat piece of plastic, which is good. And she does fit on it. It does kind of raise one problem, and we'll talk about it more with the articulation, but this leg is a little bit loose, and so whenever you pose her on there, she kind of gets knock-kneed a little bit. It's not a huge deal, but it is something that's worth mentioning. Her next accessory here is her helmet or hat, and it can be placed, on her head, obviously. And it fits on there really nicely. In fact, it doesn't even look like a separate piece when it's on there, so that's really good. She also has a blaster here. This one's a Stormtrooper blaster, and it does actually have that little piece painted silver, which is nice. So we've seen this before, but it does have a nice detail on there, so I'm glad to have it. Then she also comes with her blaster pistol. Again, nice detail, and there's some actual paint work. And then, of course, this one can be placed into her holster, and then there's a little vinyl strap there that can be placed over it, which is nice. Then she comes with this. I'm not entirely sure what it is, but it is nicely detailed. It's got some texture on the surface that's not really showing up that well on camera, and then it does have some paint work as well. And then this can be hung on her belt here, if it'll focus. Just like that. And then finally, she's got her little mask here. It's molded in translucent plastic, which is interesting. I think this is, mostly accurate to the movie. And then to put this on the figure, remove her helmet, and then slip the little strap around her neck here, and then just follow the cord around, and there's a little pocket that this just sits in. There's no plug or anything, but honestly, it's molded, to the shape it needs to be, so it doesn't want to pop out of where it's supposed to be. So she comes with an absolute ton of accessories, and when she's all, wearing all of them, the figure looks really cool. Another thing I want to mention is that they did an excellent job of weathering her jacket. Hasbro hasn't been doing a lot of weathering jobs like this on their figures, so it's good to see some paint washes and maybe a little bit of dry brushing on these figures. As far as articulation goes, overall it's pretty good. She's got a ball peg in the head and then a hinge in the neck, so she can pretty much move her head wherever you want it to. And then of course, some of the pieces get in the way a little bit, but not too much. She's got ball hinge shoulders that do swivel 360, hinged elbows with a swivel. Then she's got hinged wrists with a swivel. Let's see, does she have any chest articulation? It feels like there's a swivel. It could possibly be a ball peg, but honestly it's going to work just as a swivel because of the jacket here. It kind of gets in the way. She also has T-jointed hips with a thigh swivel. As I mentioned before, the knees are a little bit looser than I would like them to be, but they do have a nice range of motion when you do actually move them, so that's good. Then she's got a boot swivel, which is unusual to see on a Black Series figure. Then she's got hinged ankles, and the boot doesn't go very far up. I wish it went a little bit further up. That would help with posing, but it goes just the flat. And then there is an ankle rocker. So overall, I think that aside from the kind of looseness in the joint and this, minor problem with the ankle articulation, this is a great figure. And I've seen them on Amazon for super cheap. So in my opinion, there's no reason not to pick this figure up, especially for a good price. In my opinion, they just got most things right. So if you have any comments or questions, please leave them down in the comment section below, and I guess I'll see you later.